Well, welcome back to another episode of Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what's going on?
Derek, this is going to be an off-the-rails interview, but we are here in our studio, and we are excited for round 2 with Addy's. So do you want to introduce yourself to those who may not have seen round 1?
Yeah, so my name's Tyler Malone, manager and buyer over at Addy's Wine and Spirits. My family owns Addy's, and they also own Lexi's Wine and Spirits over in Gettsville. If you guys don't know Addy's, then you haven't watched this podcast before.
Very true.
But I do want to say one thing. A special shout out to my beautiful son and beautiful girlfriend, Julie, and new baby, Gianni. And a shout out to Zach and Jordan. You guys just had your baby today. So congratulations. Is it Henry Robert Robinson? Beautiful baby, and can't wait to meet him. But yeah, so I'm a manager, buyer, and new dad, and the idiot that decided to be president of our condo HOA. So I'm just nice and relaxed right now, huh?
And more importantly than even Gianni, sponsor of the Buffalo Happy Hour podcast.
This is true.
He's also a Patriots fan.
The biggest Patriots fan this side of New York. Actually, in all of New York.
Honestly, you're probably not wrong.
That's for damn sure.
I only know one other Patriots fan, but he lives in
My dad?
Rochester. He lives in Rochester. I didn't know your dad was a Patriots fan.
He's from Boston.
Well, he
yeah,
just
but
rips on
still,
you all
like
the
we don't
time,
talk
though.
about that.
Yeah.
We talk about business.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
He pretty much just makes sure you're okay. That's that's all we talk about. Mike, is
Yep.
Tyler okay? I don't know. I'm worried about him.
Yep. Yeah, he says that, and then yeah, it's always fun.
But yeah, man, thanks for being on. This is exciting. There's
thanks
been
for
a
having me
lot
back on.
that's transpired since round 1.
Yeah.
So
Mike's learned new words. That's one of them.
transpired.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually used pontificate the other day, and people looked at me like, "What? Just fell out of your word hole?"
Yeah, they're like, who is talking right now?
Yeah, that was up there. So, anyways, lots happened since round 1, and we've, as we say, continued our partnership with
Yep.
Addy's. So that's
true.
super exciting. And now we're kind of branching out into different tastings, which is gonna essentially set us up for whatever is about to transpire in the next probably hour and a half.
He's going to use that
yeah.
like 7 more times this episode, transpire.
Can't wait.
Did I
This
say it
is word of
again?
the day. You didn't even know it?
No, not at all. Damn.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, what has transpired?
All right, well, first of all, take a drink every time he says transpire.
Oh,
right?
Jesus, we're going to be hammered real soon.
There's a hole in my glass. I guess I've said it too many times. I'm just gonna not talk.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're the best talker ever. You need more whiskey.
You know what this is gonna be? This is gonna be like I'm gonna fall asleep after throwing up on the side of the table, the Rogan thing.
Oh, yeah, the Protect Our Parks.
Protect our parks.
Yeah.
That's what this is gonna turn into.
Sounds great.
It's gonna be an Addy's Buffalo Happy Hour, Protect Our Parks.
Well, if you can't see, because these are placed just outside camera view, we got 5 different things in front of us, too, that Tyler wants us to try today. All right, sweet. So
Seriously?
this is
It's all
going to
for
be
work.
a disaster.
Don't be a pussy.
Yeah, so that's great. But honestly, what has been going on? So you were on about, what, a year and a half ago at this point?
yeah.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
It was during
2 years
COVID,
ago?
so
Yeah, it was during COVID.
Jesus.
like actual COVID, not this bullshit part that we're at now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be about a year and a half. We just started doing like virtual seminars and getting into that game. So it was myself, Jim, and then our events manager, Rachel. We've just kind of were trying to figure it out. Now we're shipping out, like today before I left, we were just wrapping about 300, 400 packages for just one event. I would probably say that we've got about 4 or 5 other ones this week that we have to ship out, and then keep going forward for the rest of the year. We're probably over at about 30 or 40. It's bananas. Probably say altogether for the whole year, we're at well over 200 that we've done.
Events?
Yeah.
Wow.
Virtual events. I guess we
Jeez.
can also include public ones, but the virtual ones are where it's just been crazy. That's completely changed how we run a business. We still do the public ones. As I think you guys interviewed Kristen with Meat and Eat Charcuterie. She's great. Shout out Kristen. We've been partnering with her doing all these charcuterie events in the store, and they're a huge hit. But, I mean, we do them online, and it goes from 50 people to 200 people, 100 people, whatever it is. And we're just crushing through it. We're able to do products such as these, plus wines, and we have our Sound Jim teaching it. And I've been able to take a step back, and Rachel's just been killing it, running the events and seminars. So, without her, I don't know what we would be able to do. That's for damn sure. I help out a little bit with that, but I'm more doing just the class with you guys. We just went to Boston, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And, we're just... Things have changed in over a year and a half, but definitely for the better.
So really, when did those events start taking off? Was it because of COVID, or was it kind of ramping up because of that?
Yeah, so it started out because of COVID, and then it slowly snowballed. And then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks after your interview, 3 weeks after your interview, sure, we'll say it's because of the interview.
See, we do have wide reach.
You're right. But yeah, I would say about a month or so after the interview, it really started to take shape as to what it is now. And we're continuously progressing and changing and, how we go about it. We've got it down to a science on exactly how to ship everything out. Because we're using FedEx, we're using UPS, and shipping only to states that we can ship to legally. And we want to emphasize that part. But we're doing I would probably say about the past month or so, it's really taken off, which is the time of the year. When you have all these major companies, M&T, Ingram, Converge, all these other cybersecurity companies are really our biggest partners here. And the customers are loving it, or their customers are loving it, which means that they're loving it, which then means that they're willing to just give us all the money that they have to do these events. So I'm loving it.
And provide your expertise on it too. So,
of course,
when you're doing these events, are they mostly wine, or are they getting into more of spirits? Because I feel like people are still intimidated by spirits.
Yes and no. Like actually, right now, Hopper and Rachel are doing that's why we're here, because Hopper and Rachel are doing a class or two classes back to back over at Addy's, and they're doing a mixology class with a couple of the Clonic Kill 2 lines. I don't even know anymore. That's what I'm saying at this point. Someone asked me, "Hey, what are we shipping on?" I don't even know, because we're doing so many different events with all these different products. But I would probably say it's pretty split. Maybe if anything, it's edge to spirits, but that's just because you can do the mixology aspect of it versus wine, where it's just here are the 4 wines, 5 wines, whatever we pick out, and you're stuck with them.
Sure.
Where you have a whiskey, you can go right here, you taste it, and then you can talk about how to mix it. You can, as you and I are doing later, blending it. We can go in depth as to the whole process of it. So I think there's a little bit more versatility to it versus the wines, which, is still fun to do, and Jim does an incredible job. At this point, he's got to be nationally known. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just because it's more one-dimensional for the wines. People are kind of doing them, but there's a lot more to do with the spirits.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it too is wine is safe, right? And when it comes to the different SKUs, I guess for this sake of conversation, wine is so bulletproof that it's it is what it is. Oh, it's a dry red. Understood. And the audience knows well enough to understand what that actually means. Whereas with whiskey, most people still don't really understand all the differences and intricacies that make it up. So it's this massive push to not only they're seeking to understand, but they're having so much fun with it.
Yep.
But they're also still trying to figure out what proof point fits them because they don't know their tolerance for whiskey.
Right.
So there's that fun game too. But the other thing that I think is exciting within our state, specifically for those out of state for New York, is we're trying to figure out how to ship whiskey nationally as you can with wine with spirits, because
you can't legally do that, of course.
Correct. You can't legally do it. Legally. Except there's so many different people in the industry pushing legislation to actually get something in place so that we can do it, which is going to open so many doors in revenue. It's guys, you're literally, when you look at globally, tequila is the number one spirit.
Yep.
And then second is whiskey, as a broad umbrella term.
Is it not vodka?
Really? I was going to say it's probably vodka, right?
I would think vodka is probably number one. I
Over tequila?
I think I did read that tequila is number one, but I think it's a
Yeah.
clear liquid is number two.
It
I
could
think
be
whiskey's
vodka.
still down there, dude. I don't think that a lot of people are drinking whiskey right
It doesn't matter if
That's
it has
so
an E or not. It's down
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an umbrella, which is frustrating because if you open that up for across state lines, it's going to essentially send it into a different stratosphere. And there's so
Yeah.
much revenue that the country can utilize that they're not, just because of a ridiculous bylaw.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out with how COVID's changed and how everyone's doing a lot of stuff at home anyways, and how if you look at the stock for UPS and FedEx and all those shipping companies have exploded.
To the moon.
Yeah, right, and then you have these companies that they do wine shipping, and I don't know what the laws are with spirits, because I know there's like distillery laws and like you can ship if you're a distillery to, depending on the state, you can ship it to a consumer or you can ship it directly to retailer or a wholesaler, but that's it. So, they need to get some sort of parity across the board, which there never will be, because legally, if you look into it, the drinking age isn't even a national thing. It's a state-by-state law. Mm-hmm. Granted, they just lose a lot of funding if you change it from 21 to, let's say, 18. Mm-hmm. Right? So spirits and wine as a whole category is going to be drastically changed because of the shipping aspect, but there's going to be no sense of urgency from these states because they want to keep everything in-house. So they got to find a way to be able to tax so let's say we ship into New Hampshire, right? So they got it. So they're a control state, which means that the government, controls everything that's in and out. We can ship into anybody that lives there outside of I think one dry county, but we can ship into there and then we have to pay them, is it 10% per transaction? And then we got to ship or send them like an invoice for every month of what we send out with their names, addresses, and
Oh my God.
To the state or to each county?
to the state,
Okay.
which we
That's
don't
still
like,
annoying.
Which we don't like, because one, it's a lot of extra work. Two, and most importantly, I don't like sending the state, hey, you have Joe Schmo over there at 123 Main Street that's buying all this booze every week or every month or whatever. It's like, they're. Anyways, not to get too into
No, yeah.
the invasiveness of that, but
It's a thing, though.
it's a thing. Yeah, I don't know
insane
exactly
to
how to
think
word it
about.
how ridiculous that is, but each state has their own things. For them, it's fine. But then you look at Florida, probably the best state, best governor in the country. We ship down there, they don't give a shit. We ship it to them, and all they ask is that we don't break it. Because then if we break it, we have to reship it down there, but they don't get any. I think it's stuff from UPS, like the UPS pays them some fee or something.
So if Mr. Jones on 123 ABC Street is buying 60 cases of double oaked, the governor's like, rock and roll.
Yep.
Like, we don't care at all.
Exactly,
That's hysterical.
Right? Gotta love Ronnie, right?
Kind of love Ronnie. So do your sessions, your like seminars and everything, do they include people from all over the country?
Yep. Oh, I think we've officially shipped to all 50 states.
Nice.
I know personally I have shipped stuff to Alaska and Hawaii, and if we can't legally ship it, we only shipped like wine glasses or
There you go.
koozies or something like that.
Yeah, because you need something to drink out of.
Of course,
They
right?
get their own wine, but
Right,
you tell
exactly.
them,
Sure, it might be the exact same thing, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but we shipped across the country, and we get people that are calling in from Canada, right? So they're pitching their products. They're hey, buy this, and this is why they have a whole presentation. It's super nerdy stuff, right up Derek's alley. Mm-hmm. And then we have our fun stuff of the booze that. We have like Hopper come on, or we have Jim or Sam come in, or I'm on, and we're teaching the class about it. And then, depending on how they want to run it, they do the next class or the next product will be after, Brian out in Dallas, Texas, and he's pitching his stuff as to why, everybody should buy this, and everyone's just like that, texting, oh, the booze are back on? All right, awesome. So Hopper comes back on, or I come back on, whatever. So we have people coming in, whether they're attending it just for the booze, or they're attending it to actually pitch their product. They're all over the country, and like I said, even Canada is getting involved in that. Now, we're not shipping to Canada at all, and I guess we can, but it's a whole headache and far too expensive.
Sure.
But they're getting we do is we get a product that let's say like Tito's, right? Tito's is up in Canada, so anybody can go to the LCBO, whatever it's called.
Yeah, like duty free.
Yeah, whatever it is, or like one of the country stores, and they buy a bottle of Tito's. Then we do the class there. But other than that, we're really shipping out, doing whatever we want to do, and people are calling in from all over. We actually did have somebody from India, ironically enough.
That's cool.
They asked if we can do an IPA beer. We said, well, we can't do any beer, so we said the next best thing we can do is an IPA barrel finish. So we did
Southern Tier.
No, it was Clonakilty. Their
Oh,
revival.
yeah.
So we did that for the class. We told everybody about it, and we shipped it out. And that was a huge hit. And then the guy was loving it. And then he actually flew in from India to New York City, and then we shipped it to him, and he was having a blast.
Oh, sweet.
So, but yeah, so we're getting people from all over the country and all over the world now.
How do people get involved with that, though? Like, it doesn't have to be through their company hosting it.
So it could be like M&T, for example. So you have a cybersecurity company, right? It's kind of like a timeshare, actually. So everyone goes to these timeshare events. They don't care. They're just there for the free TV, right? Mm-hmm. And then in this case, it's the booze. And then the timeshare company, they're pitching everything, whatever. You're just like there, whatever, waiting, listening to it, and then you do the booze. Now, there's obviously some people that want to listen to it, and they do learn a lot about it. But it's, I don't know, it starts with like one big company, and then they're selling whatever product is. They're partnering up with like a supplier, right? And then they work together to sell it to M&T, to sell it to Frank's Basement, because I'm sure you guys would definitely be involved in cybersecurity.
Absolutely.
But
there's a ton there. Ton of opportunity.
Right.
So much.
Right. But it's a pretty complex as to how it goes, but that's not our worry. Our worry is getting the best booze into the people's hands and giving them the best time that they can ask for.
And now when you get into the differences between like a wine tasting, getting Jim involved, or a whiskey tasting with Clonakilty where you're blending stuff.
Or Buffalo Happy Hour.
How do you get into that delineation between those two types of product? Is that something that the company says that we wanted? Okay.
It's really that simple. They just say, hey, we want to do a whiskey tasting, or hey, we want to do a wine tasting.
Oh, it's easy.
And then from there, when it comes to the product that we do, that comes down to their budget. So they say, hey, we have a $10,000 budget for 50 people, or we have a $10,000 budget for 500 people. And then we have to pick out products and packages that fit accordingly. And they just give us the Amex Black, they give us a check, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. We give them full control, and then we say, you choose what you want, you give us a budget, and then we will pick out the products that work. So we do products that we love, that we're passionate about, that we have close relationships with, such as Hopper and Clonakilty, and Peter and LC over at Clyde Mays. We're going to start doing a lot with them. And, I mean, it's just about relationships there, and that's how we're getting to do particular products. With the wine, it's basically whatever Jim and I pick out that we know would fit a theme, because we say, all right, they say, you want to do a wine? We say, all right, do you want to do a Thanksgiving? Like this time of year, we'll do Thanksgiving. You want to do Christmas theme? You want to do cookie pairing? Whatever the case may be. And then they pick something out, and then Jim and I pick out wines that work for that and fit the budget.
Sure. That's pretty cool. So do you want to jump into our event that we did and just kind of explain?
In Boston?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a cybersecurity company was working with Addy's and
Atlantic Data Security.
And they reached out to Addy's that they wanted to do a whiskey tasting, and in this case, it ended up being in Boston. Tyler reached out to us and said, hey, they want to do a professional whiskey tasting. You guys are the whiskey guys. Do you want to come in and work with us on it? Obviously, Derek and I jumped and said, yeah, how high? So we ended ended up making it all work with logistics, and we swung out to Boston and did a professional whiskey tasting based off of their budget with the products that the three of us essentially discussed, and then they ended up tweaking it slightly just for their own like tasting benefits, essentially. So then when we got there, we're just like, all right, rock and roll. We did the pouring, and then we worked with them within their presentation that they were having, where the one gentleman talked about cybersecurity, we talked about booze, and then back and forth it went until the event was over with. But it was a super good time, and it was really, really beneficial to the guests because they picked up 2 different industry fun facts, but then also got a full brief on each different product within the lineup, and they got to taste it, rate it, and it was a back and forth dialogue, really. So it was just it was a good time. Mm-hmm. It was a good night.
Yeah, it's cool to see how these events have gone from virtual to now in person, but I guess national in a way, right? So we're actually going to physical locations and traveling, and then I decided to bring you guys on. I'm like, you know what? Let's so it worked out for me because my cousin Steve was getting married out there, and then this was the day before the wedding, so it worked out perfect. But I'm like, you know what? It's much better to have multiple people doing an event such as this because I can give you all this information about, product A, product B, product C, but, I only know so much. And then, Derek can talk about his love for Scotch, and then Mike can talk about, this rye whiskey and why is this rye different from your typical bullet rye, and then you bounce things off of each other. You get the comic relief. Mm-hmm. It's, you guys are talking. I'm out talking to everybody else, answering some questions. And, it just works better that way. So these are events that we can do by ourselves, but the experience is so much better when you have multiple people. Mm-hmm. As I've learned just by doing these seminars with Jim, these wine ones. Or doing them with 3-chord, doing them with Clonakilty, mm-hmm. etc. So they're just more fun to do them with more people. As stupid as it sounds to get 3 people to do one event like this, I mean, you guys can speak for yourselves, but I mean, I think the event was a lot better by having the 3 of us kind of working together.
Oh, it flowed so much better.
Yep.
Well, then you don't have the pressure of trying to do everything yourself. Mm-hmm. Like there's that whole, let me pass it to you so you can talk about this, and then you pass it back to me. So it's more of a conversation. Right. I feel like if you have one person up there just spatting at you, it's more of a lecture. Whereas if you have 3 people up there talking with each other and talking with you, it's more of an interactive conversation rather than just a sit down, shut up, drink the whiskey, and listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of drinking the whiskey, what do you guys want to do first?
Oh, Jesus.
We can't go to the wine now. Our palates are already toast after that Aberlour.
Yeah, right.
The cask.
Do you want to go right to the Tommy Rotter gin? Because that's
yeah.
What does this taste? So this is a single barrel that you guys did?
Tell you what it tastes like. That's what you guys have to do, right?
Oh, man.
All right, so
we're starting with a gin. We went from Scotch, now we're going to gin.
Yeah, so what we're doing
it's
here
a bourbon barrel gin.
Yeah, we are doing a interview, obviously, with Addy's, and we're going to be sprinkling in some Wednesday whiskey reviews for you guys that will be posted separately. So yeah, It'll be fun. So this is a single barrel Addy's partnership with Tommy Rotter gin. It is aged in bourbon barrels. Do you know what? Was it their own bourbon barrels?
Sure. I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I truly don't know.
She's taking those heavy pours, too. He's going to be sleeping on the ground. This is Protector Parks. He's Ari Shafir right now, and you and I are Shane Gillis.
This is going to be a riot.
So I'm going to ask you guys while you're pouring that.
Absolutely.
When the hell are you going to actually update this season 3?
I literally say it every time I walk in the room. I'm just like, today's the day. And then I never do. It's on my list.
I watch every single one. I'm waiting one day. I'm going to see.
I know. You would make a fan around me about it.
10 BBG. Is that Buffalo Bourbon Group?
Sure. So, remember gin, not bourbon. Now.
Yes. You don't say.
Yeah, but what's interesting about this, and they have a regular bourbon barrel gin that I fell in love with actually a couple of years ago, and then that's what decided us to do this.
Dude, is that ginger?
These are virgin American white oak, so these haven't been used before.
You smell that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of ginger and anise.
Remember, it's a gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that punches you in the face, dude.
Yep. But then what's cool is right on the nose, you're getting gin and a little bit
Yeah.
of brown sugar.
Yeah.
Then when you taste it, you forget it's gin.
Really?
Swear on Tom Brady.
Well, he's not doing much right now, so
Literally.
Just kidding. I swear I'm Bailey Zappi.
there you go. Zap zap.
Zap attack.
Woo! That warms you up, bro. That sent a little zinger through me.
What's the proof on that?
That ginger stays.
It does.
That's a very interesting taste for a gin. It's 122 proof.
Yeeks.
Batty. Oh yeah, there, brother.
Yeah, that ginger definitely stays. The anise goes away.
Tommy Rotter made 150 proof, didn't he?
Yeah.
For a 10-year?
Yeah. 155.
No idea.
No, it was 150, I thought.
By the way, I got to get you guys in touch with Lauren. She's a rep for Tommy Rotter. She's excellent.
Yeah, let's do it. Love to talk to her. What's up, Lauren? I'm Mike. This is Derek. That's Tyler. You know us.
What's up? But yeah, so that is very pleasant. What have you had the
Pleasant?
regular gin?
Yep. Super good. It's super junipery. I mean, I know that sounds
Right.
stupid being
But
a
like
gin, but
the barrel characteristics are kind of what's giving you that ginger and anise.
I think you get that brown sugar
Yeah.
from the barrel. You might get the anise from there. That ginger, I think, is going to be a mixture of the barrel, but also just might be the botanicals that's in the gin.
And you kind of get like some cinnamon too. Like
There's
this
a lot of
This
cinnamon
is
in this.
very spicy, but it's
Better
not
than
like
Fireball.
overly. Yeah, it's not like overly florally like normal gin is. Like you get some gin like Hartman's gin and Lockhouse gin. Those are very florally.
The ginamin.
No, I'm
Or
saying
you're
like
talking
the
about
regular gin.
Okay,
is
yep.
very florally. This is very cinnamony. It kind of bites a little bit, and it's very spicy.
This is perfect for
Very
Christmas.
spicy.
Yep. I agree.
I agree.
What would you rate this, Mike?
6.9.
Like, final rating?
Yeah, like give me that countdown.
3, 2, 1.
85.
84.
84.5.
84.5.
5.
See, Tyler's good. He's got it.
It's like I watch this once in a while. No. So
That is good.
The only issue I have with this is, like you said, Mike. It's great for Christmas time.
And
No, it's great for then, but like I don't know, it's a bit too. I guess that ginger or that cardamom actually might be too
Oh yeah,
much.
there you go.
that's my point. Like,
know-
it's great for Christmas. And
It's good too by itself.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
say
like,
that,
but if you're trying to like place this, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is perfect for Christmas. Oh yeah, and Christmas again.
yeah,
Like
perfect.
I can't.
So
I
it's
don't know when
Christmas,
else I would have it
Yeah.
other than Christmas, and like I would make a cocktail with it. You know what I mean?
That actually, I actually did make an old fashioned the other day.
yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Delicious.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that'll put you down, bro.
Well, yeah, it's 122 proof.
Yeah, that'll listen. If I'm a hog and that thing is a 30-30, I'm going down. Going
Oh, yeah.
down.
What's interesting about that too is it actually, if you've noticed right now, after that scotch, it already cleared your palate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd say I'm fresh as a daisy now.
because that ginger.
Yeah.
That ginger
Yeah.
really got you. Attaboy. I thought you just poured it in your water. I'm like, this guy's going hard today. I was gonna say, I got more water here if you want more water. He's gonna just chuck that.
I'm practicing blending, you know.
There you go. Good call. No, that was different.
So when you went into this with them, what was your thought process? Did you just say I want a barrel aged gin, or were you kind of like I want this more spicy, Christmassy?
So any pick that we do, first of all, is never just one person. We always do myself, my dad, and then anybody else that's working. So we have a whole staff. We have Ryan. We have now my sister Lexi over working at Lexi's.
About time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and we got a bunch of other people there. Sam, Rachel, and they all kind of put their 2 cents in, and then we kind of take like an average, right? So, I love this blend right here. My dad loves this one, which means my opinion's irrelevant. So,
Welcome.
right, no, but we all kind of like bounce out. We're like, all right, so we really like these two. This one is kind of the weak link, so we won't do this one. All right, so then we all going to retaste these guys. And typically reps bring in 2, 3, or 4 samples. And we're going to try these 2 again. And then between the 2, what's the favorite? More people vote for this one. Throw this one out. This is our pick. So the whole process is really a team effort. What's the point in just having 2 people pick it out?
Right.
Because everyone's going to be selling it. Everyone's going to be involved with it. People get super excited, too, when they're like, this is really good. It's got the cardamom. It's got the ginger. It's got, brown sugar. And they're more willing to sell that versus anything else. Because, even though they're just, a store clerk or whatever you want to call just any employee, they're still a part of the team. They're involved in this. We want everybody to be as much involved as, my dad, the owner.
Sure.
So, it's a team effort, and that's the whole process. It's honestly that simple. Rep comes in, drops samples, kind of talks about each one, and then we all taste it, and we kind of make the decision by the end of the week.
Is this still available right now?
Oh, yeah. Got released about the beginning of this month. We did get it the end of August, but we decided to hold off until mid-September to really kind of launch it. And then the big fall tasting that we had earlier this month, we did a big push, and we had sold about 2-3 cases, 6-packs of it, and because the reaction was so great. So, and Lauren, like I was telling you, and I'll put you guys in touch with, she did a great job pushing it and talking about it. So,
It's literally perfect for Christmas.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like good timing on you guys. It's ideal.
What does it sell for?
Yeah, what's the MSRP? Or like retail, whatever you want to say.
$50.
Okay.
Okay.
For 122
Addy's
proof
apple.
gin, that's pretty good.
Agreed.
It's hot, for sure.
Do you think it came out too hot, or are you happy with it?
No, that's exactly what we wanted.
Okay.
If you notice, we have a tendency to not do any weak picks. So our Buffalo Happy Hour pick was hot.
Yep.
Our other Clonakilty pick that we had was 115. Our 3-quart barrel pick that we had with you guys was
116.
116. Our 3-quart pick that we had for just the store was 117. This guy's 120. So we want to be 115 and above, best we can. We notice that kind of differentiates it. Also, the people that are going to be buying barrel picks,
They get it.
they get it, and they're the ones that are going to want that heat. So even though there's, you are kind of getting away from customers that don't like that stuff, we have other options too. And, we've done picks, or not necessarily picks, but we do kind of single barrels with like, what's an example? Jameson. They got some single barrels. They have Jack Daniels. They got some single barrels. And, we kind of have some lower proof stuff there, but, we're not picking that out. That's stuff that's available throughout the country. But yeah, I mean, we don't really care exactly what the customers want. We want something that, let me rephrase that. We want stuff that customers want, but we want stuff that our staff is passionate about.
Sure.
And when they're passionate about it, they'll be able to sell it better. And then when they are able to sell it, they get excited. Customers get excited. Customers taste it. They're like, wow, the Sam guy, he knows what he's talking about. So then he's going to come back in and, look for Sam, and Sam's going to help him. And then it's just, you get a permanent customer through that, even as simple as something like a private barrel that we pick out. Just because we allowed, everybody to try it and have a say in it.
Yeah. You can always water stuff down, too. As weird as that says,
That's true.
You can always water it down. You can't ever put more proof in.
That's
so
true.
err on the side of higher proof, and then if you don't like it, just add an ice cube.
That's what I say always. If you make a recipe too, so you're making a margarita, you're making a Manhattan, whatever the case may be, you can always add stuff to it. You never, ever, ever can take it out.
Right.
So someone says, what's a recipe for, this drink? I say, well, this is what the internet says. I always say you do the bare minimum of the alcohol, because you can always add it to it. And they go from there. So
That's cool. All right, so what else do we got in front of us? I see all empty glasses here. What is this copper what?
the Copper C, it's a big Angus. What is it? The green malt. So full disclosure, you guys can open that up. Let me pull this up here. So we've had this on our blowout shelf for God knows how long. But when we tasted it, we brought it in originally, it was delicious. And it's, if you look in the price tag on that, Derek, I think it originally was like $75. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous right now at how cheap it is. We're selling it like at cost.
Really?
Yeah, because it's been since probably, I was still in college. So it had to be about 4 years ago.
Oh, Jesus.
4 years ago?
5, 8 years ago, yeah. Let me pull up the information on Green Malt. It's a great podcast right now.
Oh, it's
One
fine.
guy's smelling,
It's
and one
every
guy's
week.
looking at the guy smelling, and one guy's on his phone.
It's every week.
Yeah,
Love
we do
it.
this
We're constantly looking up stuff. It's fine.
Oh, good.
It honestly smells unaged.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's the proof on this? Let's see. It's just over 90 proof. It's 48% ABV. So, there you go.
What is it?
It's just over 90 proof. It's 48 ABV. So, pour that. We'll see how this goes.
So have you had this before or no?
Like I said years ago, like back when I was in college. I don't remember much about it other than it was super tasty and super unique. Hence the name Green Malt. It smelt very green.
Where's it from?
It does.
Hudson Valley, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this smells like fresh green, almost kind of like a seaweed, like a dried
Yep.
seaweed.
Kale. Kelp. Something
Yeah,
like that.
why?
Green malt, bro. Did you look it up? Do you know what green malt is?
Kind of. I basically got what you just said. Our green malt barley is herbaceous, but in a completely different way. Cucumbers, black tea, horseradish, and seaweed.
Oh, I can see that. I can see horseradish. It's a really good call, actually.
It is because it opens your sinuses.
Wet, mushy green malt is also a challenge to mill. The process of crushing the grain.
Dude, this is fascinating. Who the hell thought of using
So
this?
is it just like young barley? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what
think
this
so,
is?
yeah.
because like we were in Ireland, everything was green at that point.
Okay, relax.
Yeah.
Tell me this doesn't have Mike's name written all over it, right?
Not to sound pretentious or anything.
Not to sound pretentious or anything, but we were in Ireland. When we were there, the malt,
welcome.
the barley was green. So that's kind of what like I'm envisioning with this green malt. It's just like it was picked there, and then like that's your whiskey.
Yeah, they just ripped it from Mother Earth.
Yeah.
They're like, grind it. Do your
It
thing.
tastes very raw, or smells very raw.
Yeah, like it comes right from the still. This
Not even from the still, just straight from the ground.
yeah.
Mike loves it.
Dude, so
Did you try this?
yeah, I just did let it sit for a little bit. So when
Pause.
you gave him the ghost tequila,
Yeah,
and
you
he
ruined
was so excited to like get me,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna get Derek this, and then I try it. I'm like, I love this. The look on your face
And he
was,
was
so
dying
funny.
during it.
You were so
I
disappointed.
was loving it.
I was not a fan.
So I listened to the Wednesday whiskey review every day going into work. So it's basically about 14 minutes or so, which is my commute. So thank you, East Amherst. I love it. So when I'm in there, I'm just driving down Klein Road, and then you guys say, that's when you were tasting it. And you're just, oh my God. Oh my God, I was cracking up. And at that time, there's a cop there just, waiting for people to be speeding, whatever. And I can guarantee you this guy was like, what the hell is this asshole doing? Just cracking up to himself right now.
yeah, at 8:10
At 8
in the morning.
Yeah, at 8 in the morning. And it's a red light. And I'm just still. And he's cracking up.
That's awesome. That's a good story.
So
This is unique. Unique New York.
you can say it sucks. It's all right. I won't be offended.
It's not that it sucks.
It's just different.
It's a very different taste for a whiskey.
This kind of tastes like Southern Tier 2 times hopped. Like it's got that like grassy kind of, not hoppy, but it's got that same type of, even the afternote, where the afternote is malty.
It's rubbery too. It's
Yeah.
got like a
Are you chewing it?
kind of, yeah, it's got like a, I don't know, it reminds me of the grassy knoll. I'm trying to figure this out, man. I don't.
What are your thoughts?
You're selling this for $15 right now?
$30, $39.
39.
It was 75.
It was 75.
Yeah.
And they felt comfortable selling it for 75.
Yeah.
We need to jack our prices, Derek.
Right.
Yeah.
You know we're gonna need a new glass, right?
No, we got water. Listen, we can just throw Lagavulin charred oak cask in there, and it'll get rid of literally every single living thing in this building.
know-
So
When you open the box, Ron talks, just so you know.
Yeah.
it's like, hello, friend.
Welcome back, friend.
I'll take that third steak after all.
I'm surprised you didn't grill some.
But yeah, I mean, this really tastes like the seaside. Like you got the sea salt crashing in.
Yeah,
It's just
this-
seaweed.
this is the
It's just
riverside.
very, very earthy and damp. I guess that's kind of the best way that I can describe it. It's just like this earthy, sea salty dampness.
This failed. I give it a 63.
I give it a 69. Nice.
Nice.
I'll give it a 73, just to be nice.
All right. What's that average there, Mike?
Come on, are you serious?
We need a math teacher here. don't
Shut
we?
up, Derek. I know. We need our Patreon.
Derek.
We need our Patreon member here. That's what we need. He will literally be able to compute that in 3 seconds.
He already did.
Mentally.
He already did it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
Shout
so
out,
it is
shout out to Mike.
63,
Mike's a savage.
69, and 73
Nice.
divided by 3. 68.333333333.
So close. There's blue balls right there on that rating.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just unique. If you're looking for something unique, try it. For $35 for a 375.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 75. Now it's 30.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. I'm sorry. I read 14 on the very bottom. I didn't know it was a 7.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I
did
also
that- I
didn't
did that
hold the
first,
bottle
too.
and look at it.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. I'm
Has your taste changed since college, Tyler?
yeah, I'm not drinking some UV blue.
God, no one is.
What is your favorite? Like, what do you look for in whiskey?
Whiskey,
Yeah.
heat is number 1. Number 2,
What is your proof point? We talk about this all the time. What is your proof point?
anything 110
Okay.
or above, but no hotter than 120. Hence why that's right there. I really like something that's going to have that sweet note to it, with the rye spice. You know, so a true bourbon with not necessarily a high rye, but the rye grain that's really coming out.
Yeah.
Right. So, actually,
Angel's Envy.
yeah, Willet is a really good one. Actually, there's one that we tasted. Actually, I don't think we did, but Tony from 3 Chord, he tasted with me on it. They have a new thing called Southern Star, and they have a rye that's delicious. That's a really good one. But yeah, I mean, I used to hate rye, ironically enough, about 3, 4, or 5 years ago, and now I want rye in every whiskey that I have. I also do love Scotch, but I mean, something about the Clonakilties are just killing it for me.
Dude, they're so
Yeah.
good.
So if you were in a liquor store, not like you own one or anything, but if you were in a liquor store and you had your choice of any type of whiskey that you wanted, or any whiskey product that you wanted, mine is a Balvenie 14. Yours is what? Like your favorite whiskey ever?
Same boat.
It's either Balvenie 14 or it's French Oak Reserve
The-
14
no,
year.
No, it's Balvenie.
No, it's not Balvenie.
Balvenie's Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Glenlivet,
Glenlivet.
No,
yeah.
it's-
I think it's Glenlivet 14
the
French
red
Oak
box.
Reserve. Yeah.
The red box.
Oh, the
French
red
Oak
one?
Reserve.
There's a blue one. There's a blue label that's
Yeah.
No, this one's like maroon.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 15. Glenlivet 15 is the French
Is it?
oak. Yeah. So what would be your
So good, dude.
Yeah, what would be your I want this bottle any day of the week? Money's not an option.
Oh well, if money's no option, I'm going some mellow corn.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
No.
For those that
Yeah.
don't know, mellow
Yeah.
corn is $20.
Hold on, let me grab that there. this wonderful bottle.
That bad boy right there. Disaster.
No, I mean honestly, I've really stayed away from whiskey recently. Honestly,
What about that $2,000 bottle you got in that back case? What do you got in the back?
Woodford
sir?
Baccarat. Yeah, the I gotta send you that picture, and then that way you can superimpose it over,
Yeah.
right? Do some B-roll film or whatever your tech talk is.
What do you got in the back?
Yeah. No, honestly, I think agave is what I'm going with.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, we know he's obsessed with tequila.
that's an understatement.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's,
so-
it's his favorite spirit.
When did that switch for you? Because it was whiskey
Always.
at one point. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So whiskey's always been like I've always loved whiskey. I've got nothing against whiskey, but I've always loved tequila, and then over the past 2 years, mezcal's really risen. So now I say instead of just tequila, it's agave.
Because that's probably why you gravitate towards sweet whiskey, because tequila's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, I mean I never thought about that, but that could be it. It could be because I do love the sweetness from the corn, and blue agave
Yeah.
or agave in general is naturally sweet.
That's why, like, when we were tasting the
sugars.
whiskey or the tequila that you gave us, I gravitated a lot towards mezcal because
Yeah.
I love Scotch, and Scotch and
that
mezcal
smoke.
have that smokeness to it. So
Yep.
it's all. You think that you like different stuff, but it's basically all the same. Because
Really?
at the end of it, I was like,
It's all neutral grain spirit.
right, yeah. At the end of it, I told Mike, I'm like, this is what I've learned is that I don't necessarily like tequila. I just like things that taste like whiskey. Like,
True.
That's what I learned.
Look, I've noticed that too.
Yeah.
It's funny, but yeah, I mean, if I had to choose any spirit, it would be tequila.
Is there a tequila that is like up on par
Grand
with
Mayan.
Grand Mayan? How much is that a bottle?
Depending on what it is. So you have the Blanco, which is about $89.99. Then the Reposado is about $110, $120. The Extra Añejo is the greatest greatest spirit I've ever tasted in my life. That's about $130, $140. Let me get all these numbers for you.
Extra Añejo of that brand, you're saying? What is it again? Grand Mayan?
Grand Mayan, yeah. So Extra Añejo is anything that is aged 3 years or 3
Right.
years, 1 day or more. So Añejo is going to be from 12 years, 1 day to 3 years.
12 months one day.
Or sorry. 12 months, 1 day to 3 years, and then Extra Añejo. And then I don't know if there's anything else over that, but it seems excessive.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're also going to see is a shortage. I know that's refreshing to hear now. A shortage of agave.
Oh, really?
Yep, because the tequila is exploding. And I project within 5 years, tequila is going to overtake bourbon in sales for the United States. And I think at Addy's next year, agave, because I'm including tequila and mezcal, is going to overtake whiskey. Yep.
Because Addy's right now is still primarily wine, right? Wine is your number one seller?
We always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the demographics that we're in.
Yeah.
That's why we have all
Those Billville housewives. That's what it is.
For sure, but you also have the.
Love you, Julie.
I mean, Buffalo's 5 years behind on everything.
Yep.
So, do you think that is Buffalo on track with the rest of the country and world when it comes to drinking? Like
No, we're ahead of
different
the game.
spirits or skews? Oh, we
Out
are.
of the game.
No, I mean consumption, yeah.
Well, consumption, sure, but
Yeah,
like
no,
I didn't know for
type,
like
yeah.
Yeah, no,
Trends
in
and-
trends like that, we're always behind. So it's New York is a major reason for it is because of the SLA. Liquor Authority, you guys do a great job. Trust me. No. So what they do is they make it very difficult for some brands to get in. You got to do all these different filings. You got to do all these different levels. You can't play the game, which means that suppliers or distributors can't legally give you extra cases, extra bottles. And they all have their reasons. Whatever the case may be, that's fine. We all have to listen to the rules. But you have New York City, and that's a pretty big market that these companies need to get into. So they say, all right, well, New York is difficult to get in, but let's just focus and put all our resources towards New York City. So they put all their product, they say, all right, we need 1,000 cases of product X. We're going to have that, and it's only going to be in New York City. So they put in New York City, they put all their reps down there. They focus on it. And then when they finally get in New York City, it's doing well, they then are able to say, all right, well, it's worth it to expand to the rest of New York. They go to Albany. And then from Albany, they go to Syracuse. And then they're like, oh, wait, there's other parts of New York. I forgot about that. I guess we can go to Buffalo then. So then they go to Buffalo. So it always takes longer than it should.
Yeah.
But I would say about 3 to 5 years behind everything on trends, with very few exceptions. I would say the cans, we are right on pace, if not ahead. I don't know how it is.
Like canned cocktails, you're saying?
Yeah, like high neutrals,
Sure.
cut waters, all that stuff are exploding. I don't
Probably
know.
because of the bills, honestly.
That could be it.
It's probably
Yeah.
a good market to get into because we're all alcoholics here.
Right.
Speaking of which, what is this Clonakilty Big Ditch? Because before we try the Lagavulin,
Yeah.
we got to have some of this Clonakilty.
Well, because this video is going out after the party,
Yeah.
but
Do you want more water? Or no? Like you can just pour it in your whiskey glass if you want.
sure. Yeah, so this is Clonakilty Big Ditch Collab. So if you guys don't know what Clonakilty is, it is without a doubt the number one Irish whiskey in the planet. It's in terms of quality. It blows away Jameson, and for us, it's all Clonakilty stuff is outselling Jameson 4, 5, 6 plus to 1. It's killing it.
That's
makes me
refreshing.
so happy.
Yeah,
It's
that's refreshing to hear
ridiculous.
because people, I think that
And
because
Jameson
we're-
still does well.
because we're friends with them, we're required to say that, but it's actually true in your sales.
Yep.
So I think that's probably really refreshing to hear from other people that are just like, oh, they just talk about it because they went there. It's like, no, it's actually an amazing product.
It's without a doubt, unbiased, the best Irish whiskey I've ever had.
Their process made me realize how much I love barley. And I didn't know because
But not green malt.
correct. But viewers really need to understand that from Derek and I's perspective, we were just two dudes from college that got into this. We met you, changed everything, but we're still every single day we're trying different things. Not that we have a problem, but it's research. And we're literally realizing like, oh, this is actually prominent in this spirit, and I do like that. I don't like that. And you're watching us real time define our own palates and actively learn about all these different things. And it's awesome that we can bounce ideas off of you.
Yep.
Just because you're like, when it comes to tequila, you know way more than we do, which is awesome because then we can learn it faster because you speak the same language we do. But secondly,
Idiot.
Yep.
yeah, but that's
Low IQ.
Yep.
that's the same thing that I've always said though. Like the true identification of someone's intelligence is their ability to articulate what they know to the lowest level, in my opinion. I'm just obsessed because Clonakilty was able to take that to heart, and they broke it down so that Hopper, who's like straight up off the boat, is like, listen, guys, just shut up. Who cares about mash bill? Drink the juice. Like, just drink it. And he'll say that to anybody.
Yep.
And then he drove to Syracuse and said the same thing.
Yep.
And everyone's like, this is really good juice. And he goes, buy the juice. And then that was it. And now Clonakilty's everywhere. So it's...
Can you slide it over?
But it's really cool that now we're able to fine tune our palate, and this latest collab with Big Ditch is going to be a monster. I mean, there's so much of it. Do you know the total volume? Like how many total cases the collab
200.
is worth? It's 200 total cases
200. Addy's got 75. Alexi's got 5 cases
out of 200.
out of 200.
So 200.
1,500 total bottles. It says on here. Is that right?
200 times 6 is what?
Oh God, I don't know.
1,200.
1,200. So
Yeah. Okay.
So then,
so
yeah,
1,500 total bottles.
maybe a little bit
Clonakilty probably kept a couple.
So
more. Could be that. Or,
they took
And Big Ditch.
their Irish whiskey, they aged it in a bourbon cask, and then after that was done,
they
they
always do.
finished it. Yeah, they finished it in Big Ditch's Imperial Stout. We just did an interview with them
And
last
their
week.
stout's good.
Their stout's
I
fantastic.
just had it.
Do you guys know how big their barrels are? I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. I would have to say probably the same 52.
Clonakilty's?
No,
Oh,
Big
Big
Ditch.
Ditch.
I would have to say
I have no
probably
idea.
52 because
We didn't ask them that. The only thing we asked them was what size their barrel system was for the beer.
Yeah.
which is huge.
Yeah.
But
What's a barrel system?
like how much they can put out for
okay.
beer wise.
Yeah, produce.
Most
Okay, I
small
gotcha.
startups in the area have like between a 2 to a 7. They started out with they were like, we'll just do 20. It's like, what do you mean 20?
They did a 20 barrel system to start, which is
Disgusting.
it's
Which is
unheard
lot.
of. It's unheard
lot.
of. It's unheard
It
of.
just sounds a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were one of the first distilleries in Buffalo.
Is that why they're so popular? Do you think, or
Well, no, I mean,
Hayburner
they're
helps, too.
Hayburner is what made them so
Hayburner
popular.
blew 'em up, yeah.
yeah.
So they took their whiskey, aged it in bourbon
Kilty
barrels.
did.
Yeah. Bourbon barrels, and then finish it in a stout barrel. Probably, do you know how long? 6 months, probably? 3 months?
I
3 to
can't
6
imagine it
months?
being super
Drink it.
duper long.
Drink it.
All right, can I enjoy it first?
No,
Nope.
you need
It's
to
very
drink this.
chocolatey on the nose. Like it smells chocolate. Like
Oh, it tastes like
Mike needs new
classic.
pants right now.
It tastes like classic Kilty, bro.
well,
But-
where's the stout?
You get on
It's
that.
so
finish.
good. It's so good.
Actually, more mid palate.
Isn't that smooth? What's the proof on this?
Let's see, 57 times 2. 114.
Yeah, 114.
Yeah.
This kind of tastes like,
Sucks in a bottle.
and I mean this respectively. It tastes like dusty Nesquik on the
Yes.
back end.
I get
when
that.
you
That cocoa.
when you open the plastic lid and then you got the aluminum foil lid and then you're like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Yep.
And then you rip that and then you get hit in the face.
Yep.
That's what this smells and tastes like. It's so good. This is annoying.
So
What does this sell for at retail?
I'm not even sure. Like, it's not even in the store yet. That's
Well,
the thing.
hurry up, Tyler.
Yeah. Let me
What do
do
you
some
own
math
the
here.
joint? What do we got to call your dad?
Yeah, I know. Don't do that. He
No,
doesn't
we
know I'm
shouldn't.
here. I'm supposed to be working.
You are working.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and then kind of at the end it gets you with the honey.
Maybe about $60, give or take.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is very good. I was nervous because Klein & Kilty's product is very fragile. I want to like it
Fragile.
it seems very malleable. Like whenever you put it in something, like I remember our single barrel that we had. It really absorbed that flavor profile of that barrel.
Yeah.
And I was nervous that with the stout barrel, it was going to completely be overtaken by stout, coffee, chocolate, and it was going to overwhelm the
It is overtaken.
deliciousness of Klein & Kilty's juice. But that's secondary because that initial taste is still Klein & Kilty,
Yep.
which I think is what really makes this is because it has that dynamic between the initial taste and the ending note that separate it from it being overwhelmed by stout.
Yeah.
It's so chocolatey.
This is very good.
I can't get that out of my head now. It's just,
Yeah. It's all chocolate.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
Now, how long do you think you can drink this for without just getting sick and tired of it?
One bottle.
A
Yeah,
bottle?
that's a very good question because with something like this,
And I don't mean that in
Yeah.
an insult or anything.
No,
but,
correct. Yeah.
But you drink, and for people out there, you drink enough of something, like, you can always have your Evan Williams, your Jim Beam, and you kind of mix that, whatever. But, when you have stuff that you're actually sipping, it's good to mix it up, because if you have the same
100%.
bottle every time, you get bored of it.
Yeah.
And that's not an insult to the brand or the bottle. It's just, you want your palate is craving something new. Kind of like, everybody craves new knowledge. Mm-hmm. So, to me, I would say maybe a bottle, but I wanted to see what you guys think.
Yeah.
I would say a bottle.
I would probably even say splitting a bottle, like half of a bottle, and I don't know if I want to
Not
go.
in one sitting, though.
Correct, yeah. But like, you and I split a bottle, and we're like, all right, that was cool. I'm good
Yeah.
Agreed.
with it because you're right that the Nesquik note was so prominent to me because I haven't had that in a very long time in whiskey. And I feel like if I had another bottle, it won't be as prominent because I'm like, oh, I already remember this. This just happened. So
Yep.
I think that it would lose that kind of mystique of it being that chocolatey if I've had it again, which I don't want.
It's spectacular.
This is very good.
It's so good.
But yeah.
So they're releasing it this weekend. This weekend is a big party.
At
you guys,
Big Ditch.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to be able to hear about it here, but we'll post that we're there because we are
You
going.
already did on your story.
Yeah. It's a cool collab. I mean, I love the fact that Clonakilty is really taking the stranglehold of the whiskey finished and beer barreled market. Not a lot of other places are doing it. They're sticking, a lot of other whiskey distilleries are sticking with wine and cognac and tequila.
Which they do.
Yeah.
No, I don't know the tequila, but the others. But
Yeah.
they're not scared. They're willing to actually, try different things. And I mean, who would think in the grand scheme of things, a small brewery in Buffalo, only Hopper,
Right.
and it does help that Buffalo's probably his biggest market. Not to flex, but thanks to us. Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself, and I wish you guys could taste this long, but you can if you come into Addy's and buy a bottle. I would say 9 times out of 10, I would recommend this over anything else. The only other thing I would recommend over this would be the Bordeaux cask, that they
Or
have.
that, or a free bottle of Redbreast 12.
Or BHH barrel.
Yeah. He's talking about Clonakilty. BHH barrel for sure.
Jackass.
No, that was an inside joke for Boston.
No, I know what that is. Yes.
Okay.
I picked up on that.
Good deal. Our single barrel with Clonakilty still gets raving reviews from people that just opened their first bottle.
Actually, oh no, that's what it is. It's one of the ones that we're doing actually today.
Really?
I'm sorry, not us, but Rachel and Hopper are doing it's a BHH barrel. It's a Sauterne finish.
Good deal.
And from what I heard, they're killing it.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I still get texts about it.
The
People are still excited over it. They're like, dude, I've never had something like that before.
I will say though, when we were in Ireland, not so much I'm trying to think when we were there.
went to Ireland?
Yeah,
When?
the 15-year one finished in Sauterne barrel was better. I don't like to say
100%.
that anything was better, but that was better.
It was
Was it?
so good.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah,
it was
dude,
disgusting.
It was insane.
And
because we were in Ireland tasting it.
when we, no. He's like, hey,
that's fair. You're getting seduced.
Right.
he's like, hey, use a thief, like grab this. This is the single malt version of your single barrel. I'm like, okay, sounds good.
God, that's sick.
Dude, so
so
we
good.
tried it, and it's in the video. And
yeah.
and I was like, dude, this is
going like this, and you had the giant ass.
Yeah.
the thief was
Yeah.
massive, and I was like, guys, this isn't even close.
It's unreal.
The issue was the single malt version of the single barrel that we selected wasn't available when we sat down for the pick. It came out after we selected our barrel.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I
So
remember
if it
Hopper
was,
saying that.
yeah, and then when the head distiller, when he said that, I'm like, dude, we should have waited. Because that would have crushed.
But again, you can't say we should have waited because
I know,
we had an
because
amazing opportunity that came from that.
Correct.
So yeah,
correct.
we couldn't have waited.
Yeah, no. It was, everything happens for a reason.
I do have one issue with it though.
With ours or
With a
with
single
this-
malt?
Single malt.
What's
What?
that?
It's not available right now for us.
Yeah, in the U.S., right? At all? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. They also have they have a SKU that's not even available in the US.
It's that one.
My dad got a bottle of it.
Is it the single malt?
The single malt's not available in the U.S. They might have another one, but the single malt's not available in the U.S. And I'm so sad because I love single
It's
malt.
so good.
Yeah, my dad knows a guy.
There you go.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I learned this today. Addy's is Clonakilty's #1 count in the world.
In the world?
That's including distributors.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, cheers, bro.
That's sick.
huge. Absolutely.
What do you chalk that up to?
Us?
Directly
BHH.
because of Buffalo Happy Hour. 100%. No, I do a chalk.
All
first-
seriousness, we have to have some contribution to that. We have done a lot for Clonakilty, but anyway.
Yeah, sure. No. You guys are a big help.
0.5%.
First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Hopper. I mean, you guys know him.
He's the best.
He is, without a doubt, the #1 supplier on the planet. And when I say supplier, so his company, Clonakilty, sells their product to their distributor. And because, or both their importer and then to the distributor, there's different tiers to it. And it's throughout the country, so different things for different states, whatever. But in New York, I'm saying, for example, so it goes Clonakilty to the distributor, and then the distributor to the retailer, meaning Addy's. So we do so much work with them that we are exceeding what they do, or what the distributor does, because of past before they went to the current distributor. We did so much work already that kind of brought us like here, and then their distributor kind of bringing up, and then we're the distributor's top account. So every time that we order product, we basically order it through the distributor. So it keeps pushing us up and up and up. So we're permanently going to be above them. But yeah, so I give that to Hopper because he sells it to them, and then my dad, who actually for some reason decided to. Did we ever tell you the story about how we met Hopper?
Yeah,
how he came in.
Yeah, he just walked into the store out of nowhere
On a Monday.
Yeah, and
In
he was the
sweats,
first store. He just randomly selected you guys. It's like the first store he was going to try.
My dad never tastes anything. He's so unless like he truly likes something or a rep, such as you met Nate from PM Spirits and a couple other guys and girls. He never tastes anything. He's so sick and tired of it. He's been doing it for his whole life, and I get it. But yeah, so he did it, or he was just on a Monday after a Patriots loss, so he needed a drink. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Just talked lately.
Yep. So him and I are just standing there, and then in comes this big Irishman, and he goes, "Hey fellas, you want to try some wine? Or I'm sorry, some whiskey?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And then my dad's like, "All right, sure." So he was talking to Hopper, and then Hopper brought out one bottle, and then he started talking a little bit more, and Hopper being Hopper, brings out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 SKUs. Before we know it, my dad and I is holding onto the back of the counter, and we're just like, wow, this stuff's delicious. And that formed the start of the relationship. So we brought in a couple bottles, or a couple different SKUs, and just to start out. And then Hopper said, "Hey, I'm here for a month in Buffalo, and we're going to taste all these products, and I'm going to sell you out." My dad said, "Deal." So before the first tasting, Hopper says, "All right, we got a barrel that was picked by a store in Florida, and they fucked us over, and we're going to bring it up to New York. If I sell out of all your product right now, then you bring this in." My dad said, "Deal." One tasting, so 3 hours, Hopper sold out of 3 cases of each of the SKUs. So that's 3, 6, 18 bottles times 3. So 18 times.
Shit.
Yeah. In one tasting on a Friday night. Come back in the next day. It was actually that night that I emailed you guys with him CC'd.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why I emailed you guys, because I'm like, this guy's the real deal. So that started the relationship big time. And then we had our own private relationship, or our own private barrel. And then that started the trend for our barrel pick. And then that started the BHH barrel pick. And here we are with Big Ditch and getting 75 damn cases of it.
Which is wild, because
Bananas.
Now we're at the point, like, if we see Hopper, it's not like a, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like a legitimate hug. It's like, "Hey, brother, like, what's going on?" And we just hug, and you just laugh every time you see him. Like, you can't hold back a smile.
Right, he's just a great guy.
Yeah, it's such an organic, just, "Hey, man, how you been? How's the family? What's going on?" And then it's such an organic relationship based on a juice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And it's so clean.
Yep. I mean, this is incredible.
It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, that's bringing back all the memories of everything that you've connected us with, man. I mean, we talk about it all the time. You were monumental at helping us build a lot of these connections and a lot of the interviews that we've had.
Yeah, when am I going to get commission for being
right.
your damn booker?
Yeah.
Whenever we get paid.
God damn.
Which
I know.
is never, so sorry.
I swear, I put you guys in touch with everybody.
Yeah.
Except for the beer guys.
We have an update for you, just so you know. We currently have, most people don't know this yet. I texted you last night because I was going through it, and then I got yelled at by my wife. She's like, "Are you still working?" I'm like, "Correct." She's like, "On what now?" I was like, "The podcast." And she's like, "Oh my God." We currently have interviews booked, and we have interviews booked until November 21st. We have interviews going live until December 16th.
You're that backlogged? Mm-hmm. That's bananas, dude.
As of this date, which is October 27th.
We had to. We have some things coming up. My wedding's in 9 days, so we had to make sure.
You're getting married?
Sure am.
Did you also go to Ireland?
Yeah, we did. Weird flex.
Whoa.
But I got it.
Are you sponsored by Addy's?
Yeah. Kind of weird people. But
I've
it's
said
fine.
that
In
before.
Queen City Creative Works?
I've said that before. A friend of mine, through work, like my full-time job.
By the way, I
do you have sponsors? And I was like, I don't know if you know this, but I'm sponsored by Addy's. And he's like, what is Addy's? And I was like, the greatest liquor store of all times. He's like, hold on, is that place next to Wegmans? I'm like, yeah, Transit Road in Billville.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
I do got to give a shout out to Queen City Creative Works.
Go ahead,
Lisa. I'll tell you what,
she's a savage.
she is,
Yeah.
and I go to her for any custom stuff, and this is not a plug at all.
Right.
Like I swear to God, like it's genuinely good quality stuff, but the stuff looks so good.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, they're great.
They're awesome.
So actually, for my friend Zach, who just had his son, Gianni's newest friend, he
Be best friends.
Yeah, right. You guys don't have a choice. No, but you guys don't have a choice to say. Yeah, you guys don't have a choice. Anyways, she made a Bills thing that says Robinson and then 22 on the back, like that. It was
That's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah,
That's
very
amazing.
cool.
Yep. So no, they do a great job.
They made that bottle opener. Right here. Yeah, right there.
You can find that on queencitycreativeworks.com.
Feel
Their
that
Etsy
thing,
shop on
dude. It's metal surrounded in silicone, and it's branded. Isn't that slick?
Not for nothing. I'm pretty sure we can sell this stuff at Addy's.
Could you?
I don't know. I'm sure if she sells us stuff at like a wholesale rate.
Well, look at that.
We have coasters, water bottles, and those bottle openers.
Yeah.
Right now. They're already made. Like we can do that. All right, we'll talk offline.
Sounds good.
All right,
Yeah.
so we got to try this because this
Yeah, this
just
is a
came
big deal.
out, right?
This is a big deal.
Can you talk about this a little bit? Because it literally just came out.
Yeah, so it's some guy that was on like Parks and Rec or
Yeah,
something.
I guess it's like some famous show or something.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's I've never had it.
Try this, your star friend.
First things first, I gotta say Lagavulin is the 16 year is stupid.
Oh my god,
Stupid.
I love Scotch, dude. That's peaty. It's gonna put hair on your chest.
Woof. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know anything about this, so I'm tasting this for the first time with you guys.
Yes, dude, let's go.
So they released a Lagavulin 11 before with Nick Offerman.
Yeah, so we missed the release last year, right? So
Oh, you did? The wood one? Like the wood
correct.
box? Okay.
Yes. So we missed that release. I chalk it up to my own fault. I didn't bring my dad up to speed. So my dad.
How do you miss it? What
Yes.
does that mean when you miss it?
So first of all, the rep always brings up, hey, you got these allocations or you got these new items, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to stuff like this, or I'll use High Noon as an example. I told my dad, you guys know what High Noons are.
Yeah.
So I told my dad a couple years ago, I said, hey, we need to go heavy with these High Noons. The cans are going to take over, and High Noons are backed by Barstool, right? If you don't know what Barstool is, you're an idiot.
Yeah, wake up.
You're also not watching this podcast if you don't know what Barstool is at this point. So you look at Barstool and their reach. They have Pink Whitney, from Spittin' Chicklets. They have High Noon, Dave Portnoy's thing. And then they've got a couple other things which I don't even want to go into, but you get the idea. High Noons, I told my dad, hey, we got to go into this. And he said, all right, fine. I trust you, and if you're wrong, I'm going to hold it against you, but I do trust you. So sure enough, High Noons exploded. They went into allocation, which means you can only get...
High Noon did?
High Noon did.
I didn't know
When it
that.
first came out. Yeah,
Okay.
So allocation, for those that don't know, it's based off of your history, or the distributor determines how many you can get because they need to keep inventory fair to everybody in New York or all their accounts, right?
Yeah.
So for High Noon, they base it off of history because I was buying every SKU every week and ahead of the game with all the rush, if you will. We were the only store, including those that we will not mention, who like to sue us and, come into our store and check us out. we were the only store that had it for about 3-4 months. We got a pallet of each flavor. Nobody else was even getting like 3 cases.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, so I told my dad ahead of time to do this, and because of that, he said we'll buy it. Now, the reason that I bring that up is because I typically tell him about these trends. He doesn't care anymore about the internet. He hates it, which fair. Who doesn't? But I follow this thing, all these things, and also our demographic, from really 24 to 34. So us millennials are really the ones that are. Hey, I'm technically a millennial.
I mean, kind of.
Well, I'm 26. 96. Yeah. I'm the last year of a millennial. Thank God.
You? You're not one of those weird Gen Zers, are you? If so, you got to leave now, friend.
I still think 80, 90, 92 is like the perfect generation.
No, I vote red.
There you
go.
So when it came to Lagavulin and then you quote unquote missed it.
So I didn't tell my dad about it.
Oh.
So I said, hey, there's this whiskey that's coming out, and I think we should get it. He said, okay. That was a conversation. The rep brought it up, and I said, yeah, okay, yeah. So my dad buys the spirits, I buy the wine, right? So I should make that. So the rep brings it up. The reps know, like, for stuff like this, bring it up to Tyler, and I'll bring it up to my dad and go from there. So he did. So the rep, she brought it up. She told me about it. I said, okay. I just dropped the ball and never told him about it. We got nonstop phone calls the entire month asking about it. And then when every other store sold out like that, like, hey, Addy's, do you have it? We're like, no. So my dad finally got annoyed by it and said, all right, let me order it. And then I'm like, I don't think you can. Well, watch me. So he ordered it, and the rep said, yeah, no, we haven't had any. We have none coming in until next year, meaning now.
Yeah.
So that being said, we fast forward to about 2 weeks later, or 2 weeks ago, and the rep comes in and says, hey, I have, all these things. We're tasting a couple of things. I said, is the Offerman edition out? She said, yeah. I said, all right, good. Order 3 cases of each for us, and then 1 case for Lexi's. And then she said, all right, but just so you know, I brought it up to your dad, and he said no. I said, he's wrong, right? So we just order it. So I called my dad, let him know about it, and that it's coming in. He said, all right, fine, I trust you, whatever. So sure enough, we come here. We got it in on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, it's gone by Friday.
Yeah, no, this was like the second last bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Crazy, yeah. On the shelf.
This tastes significantly different than its other 11-year.
It does.
To me, this is more friendly, I feel like.
I agree with you.
Like his other 11-year, not the Guinness one. The Guinness one was different. Because he has 3 so far. He has the 11-year. He has the 11-year finished in a Guinness barrel.
What?
And then he has an 11-year charred oak.
Talk about it.
And I am. And
Are you kidding? That's bananas.
Yeah, it's crazy. This charred oak, I feel like the charredness of
straight up sex.
Yeah, that it's now charred. I feel like it's more inviting.
I
like
love
it feels. It feels like you still have that peat and the smoke, but it's so much smoother than the original.
We don't have. Is that a clock? We don't have those in America.
Yeah,
dude, this is so good. It's smooth.
Yeah,
it's silky.
So Derek, I would assume you would be the one that would have the other 2. Mm-hmm. Have you had them?
I haven't had the Guinness.
We had the 11-year with a steak and bacon.
Yep. How was it straight?
On our show? It's good. Yeah. It's really good.
It was very peaty though.
We literally drove. We prepped the horses. We drove to Elma, and I picked up the bottle, and I'm like, "This is going to be on the show." And then Derek was like, "Let's go."
So I wanted to surprise you with this, but now I'm regretting that because I wish I told you so that way you would have gotten steaks. That'd been nice,
right? So we had that one. But that was very peaty, very smoky, and it was almost overpoweringly smoky.
It's like mesquite.
It has that kind of like sweetness smoke to it, which the other one didn't have.
I feel like, you know what I think it is? I think Nick Offerman is getting dialed in on what he actually likes, and he's toning it down a little bit, but increasing but he's increasing the marketing. Mm-hmm. Where he's like, hey,
that's easy to do, yeah.
100%.
So we talked about Clonakilty and how they were kind of like a lesser known distillery coming out of Ireland. Are there any small distilleries coming out of Scotland that you're getting privy to because of the distributors or no?
I don't know what you consider small, because even Lagavulin's considered small.
Well, like a newer distillery, I guess.
considering like the size of. I mean, you guys know how distilleries are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the newest ones are the Glen Moray, or not necessarily new, but new to me, are the Glen Morays. Those are tasty.
Is that the one that has that like variety pack?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's Glenmorangie.
Well, Glenmorangie has one, but so does Glen.
Yeah.
They all really do have.
The one that he tried was Glenmorangie.
Oh, yeah, you bought that.
Yeah, I bought it
from
from.
yeah.
Where else am I going to buy it? Hello.
Good
Lexi's.
answer.
I mean, yeah, but no. I
Right.
just go to you.
Right, fair.
Right. That's how this works, Tyler.
Yeah,
But I
no,
feel like Ireland's like, yeah, create a distillery, and Scotland's like,
But
we
you have to
enough,
name it
we're
after the
good.
town.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think there's a massive push like what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Because like in Scotland and Ireland, it's so small. Like there's just not as
True.
much land as what you get in the U.S.
and not as much people
Correct, that's true
Yep.
too.
to distribute to. Like
So
to
their-
start a
their
distillery in Scotland,
It's
has to
dumb.
be so hard.
Oh, 100%. I mean, their market's so much smaller.
Or look at the terroir, too, or you know,
Right.
the area and the climate. You look at the land. I mean, it's terrible.
It is.
Honestly, it's terrible
No, it
to
is.
be doing farms, which is what you need in order to be. Well, true.
You need
have money.
mad money.
It's owned by Diageo.
Mm-hmm.
Diageo's the number one supplier on the planet.
Which is interesting too, because like Clonakilty has dairy cows, and for like the back end business, like when you hear it, when you're there and you're talking to them, like it makes sense. You're like, oh, like you have dairy cows. Like what do they do? It's like they eat our grain, and
Yep.
like it's a continuous life cycle of our fields, and we have so many acres, we have so many cows, and I'm like that makes sense because you need to substantiate your business on the back end, and you're using cattle to do it.
I'm sure that happens in Scotland though too. We just haven't gone there. So Lagavulin, if you want to bring us out, what's up? But
True, but yeah, I mean it has to.
But overall, like from the Lagavulin lineup, I feel like this is the most user or like beginner friendly
Entry-level.
Scotch, right? Do you feel so too?
I
or
agree.
is it-
I was gonna say I'm not. I don't. When I say I'm disappointed by it, I don't want to make it sound like it's bad because it's still really good.
Oh, it's amazing.
I personally want something. I want to be drinking a bonfire.
Me too.
You know, I want to
Like
be,
the High West.
Yeah.
No, like Ardbeg,
Well,
Wee
Ardbeg.
Beastie,
I want. Yeah, Ardbeg.
I mean, yeah, but
Where you're tasting tar.
Lafroig, you know,
Yeah.
Lagavulin 16.
Right.
You know, this is not bad. It's really tasty, really good. This kind of gives me Belvini 14-year vibes where it has that light peat and that fruity note to it. But it's, I don't know, personally speaking, I want something that's going to be
No,
smoky as all hell.
I agree with you. I think that his marketing process,
Especially with the fire on there, you'd think it'd be smoky as hell.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like with his marketing process, he's trying to get into more clientele because he's a business person. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make this
Yeah.
more
But it'll sell no
friendly
matter
to
what.
many people.
it will sell no matter what.
That's my concern. Is it could be fucking anything. It could be terrible and it'll still sell, and it could be super duper smoky. You know, kind of what we're looking for, and it'll still sell. You know, and anything in between, which this is. So that's why. I mean, I have a feeling this one he had pressure from Lagavulin / Diageo to say, hey, we need to do something a little bit more mellow because your other two expressions were very hot, right? From what
Yeah.
you're saying there. So or hot as in the intensity of the
Smokiness
smoke.
and Pete, yeah.
I want to ask him.
Yeah.
Well, we can. So
There's
Bring him on
got
the pod.
there's got to
I'll
be a
book
way
him
to
for you. I'll book him for you.
Yeah, but dude, there's got to be a way
we'll
to
do
get
it
that
in your
answer.
tasting room. We're good.
Distributors are distributors. I'm sure the network is going to connect somewhere that we can get that answer. It has to.
Yeah. Well,
The world is small enough. I mean, when you really
That's
when
true.
you boil it down, the industry is small enough that you can probably find that out.
I know shit that's going on in New York City right now
Yeah.
about one liquor store.
Right.
And
Yeah.
The industry is very, very tiny. You're right.
Yeah.
Now,
There's got to be a way. It's the same thing with DOD. No flax, but like this, it's literally the same thing. Like, it's huge, but it's very, very small.
thank you.
Same
you
thing
have to
with
say
like
that about me.
it's the same thing with liquor stores
Oh,
or
what
Patriot
were we talking
fans.
Your boy's playing tonight. How's he gonna do?
about? TB12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, according to my bets, I hope he does all right. Tell you what,
I tell you what.
When is Tyler's liquor store opening though? That's what I really want to know.
Never.
Yeah, I don't think your dad is going to name a store.
Julie's before me. There'll be a Gianni's before me.
Your son's going to have a store
There'll
before
be a
you.
Buffalo Happy Hour liquor store before me.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we got to talk about Lewis about that because that'd be pretty cool.
No, dude, it's going to be Lagavulin and then like a couple bourbon options. And
And then
maybe
our Kalana Guilty single barrel.
Yeah, our Kalana
Yeah.
Guilty single barrel, like
Yeah.
3 red options of wine.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep, that'll be it.
And Jim's going to stop in and just be like, you're still doing this wrong. It's
Yep.
like, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
We're out here killing.
But in all seriousness, what is next? Is there anything planned next, or you guys are just crushing it?
No, I mean, right now we're at a very good spot where we're not looking to really change anything drastically. Other than just really, so, in the store, we have the gate. Mm-hmm. That's something that, we're looking to maybe take down the road. But we have no rush for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of working out greatly because we're able to use that whole back area just to wrap and
events.
Yeah, for events, we're able to wrap the packages there. I mean, how big do you really need the store to be?
Right.
Are you able to your point about like taking the gate down, are you able to build interior walls to have like a packaging and staging area for events, and then you have your tasting room, and then you can have another area for like events?
We can, but there's no need to. Sure. we got the fence there, if you will, or the gate, but I mean,
Build a wall.
build a wall. Yeah.
Let Premier pay for it.
Right.
Your dad is literally gonna love that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's gonna use that
He's
for
watching
marketing.
there. That one's for you, Dad.
Yeah, he's gonna use that for
my
marketing.
Yeah, he was just texting me before. I can't wait to watch it. Oh, now I can't wait to text him and be like, oh, there's something for you right there. But yeah, no, it's I don't really think there's a need to build a wall there because one, that costs money that really would only hurt us because we built a wall there, right? We would need a door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? And then the door would kind of turn people off from going in there. I mean, you look at the fine wine room, people look in there, they're like, oh, there's, wine in there. And then they walk away. I guarantee you there's people there that walk away because they're like, oh, it's unlocked or it's locked, so I can't get in there. We keep it unlocked for a reason. That way you can just go in and out of it. And we keep it squeaky. If you ever, I'm sure whenever you guys are in there, like how when you roll in with your damn
rolling case.
Rolling case.
Yeah, that you can hear from Tonawanda.
Yeah, you can you can hear the squeaking door going. But we keep it squeaky so that way we can hear it anywhere in the store. So we can go in there and help them, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it turns people off. So I think if we keep it open with that, they can see, oh, well, there's just extra storage back there. We can do all these events back there. So we do the events with Kristen. We do the events with Jim. And we kill it back there. So it's really free space, or not free space, open space that we can use. Because, I mean, you look at how tight everything is on the floor. I mean, we have all those displays. We have all the shelves that are full.
Dude, your store is packed.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah.
I have a question on the back room, like the fine wine room.
Yeah.
When I'm just gonna give an example. Like everybody has their back room for.
Now, are you talking about
what's
the
in
actual
the
fine
back.
wine room or the tasting room?
No, fine wine.
Your recording room.
Yeah, no, the fine wine.
Okay.
And every different store has like their version of that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna pick like 12 Gates or whatever the place is down by the old hospital.
Old.
What's the one that Derek works at?
What?
What's the one that you work at?
The brewery?
Yeah.
Bry Brothers? But that's not what you're talking about.
No. I'm talking about the one by Delaware
12
Circle.
bricks, you're saying, right?
No. It's the one by Delaware Circle downtown.
What are you talking about? Winery?
A liquor store.
I drive
So
a Chevy
confused.
Silverado with the Let's Go Brandon sticker on. You think I'm going downtown much with that thing?
I know, but
Come
no.
on, bro.
There's a liquor store. It's whatever it is. It's like 12 something. It's not a brewery. It's a liquor store downtown that's by the Delaware Circle.
Okay, Gates.
And yeah,
Gate
Gates.
Circle.
Gate Circle. Thank
no,
you.
I lied. That's in Rochester.
No, it's not. Gates
No.
is downtown.
Yeah, and
Right
it's
next to Gates Hospital.
anyway. Regardless, right? Like
Have a stroke,
That
go to
store.
Gates or something, right?
That store has a back room.
John Fetterman.
They have notable brands back there. They have an
Yeah.
awesome selection, right?
Yeah.
Like at Addy's Fine Wines back room, you have a different selection from the other stores. So like what do you use as like a red flag of like this should go in that room? Like what triggers that? Like
Besides price,
yeah.
it would be region. So that region. So when you walk in, right? So you walk in, and on your left you have you have France, which then goes to Portugal,
Okay.
and then in the corner you have like the shelves. Mm-hmm. And those shelves, over the next couple weeks, I'm going to fill them up with mags. So it's going to be like 1.5 liters of like champagne and wines. And then that whole wall against the back, right, is all domestic, right? So you're going to get California Chardonnay, California Pinot Noir, California Cabs, and California Red Blends, all organized based off of the region in that order. And then on the right, you're going to have another like shelf, right? That's got Orange Swift stuff. So that's Orange Swift Abstract, that's Orange Swift, Papillon, that's all that high-end stuff from a particular producer. And then that turns into Zinfandels for that same area, or California Zinfandels. And then you're going to have Italy, all right? And then you have the other wall, which is then just the glass, right? So besides the price, I look at the region that I need, because obviously everything in there has to be a relatively higher price thing. So you present me something with a Chardonnay, a Burgundy, right? So Burgundy, which is going to be a white wine in particular, because I don't need any Burgundy red or red Burgundies. I need a Burgundy, white Burgundy. I'm going to put that on the shelf there. It's going to be $55. I can easily put that in there. However, it needs to be different from the other Burgundy that I have there.
Okay.
So there's layers to it. The number one thing besides price is going to be the region. Then within the region, it's going to be the varietal. Within the varietal, if assuming that Burgundy is only Chardonnay or Pinot Noir, outside of the varietal, it's going to be the producer.
So a rep comes in
Yep.
and says, I have this bottle. I think it's a good fit for that back room.
I have to taste it first.
You and the Som, right? Or no, is it just you?
If Jim's available, yeah. I usually shoot him a text. I have full buying power,
Yeah.
right? So, well, I say that, and then my dad obviously can override me.
Right.
He's the one that signs the checks, but he has full faith in me. Yeah, so I buy whatever wine's available. Jim comes in, I say, hey, we're tasting all these different wines. And I would love his feedback. Kind of like what we were saying earlier about, the seminars. It's good to have different kind of points of view. I want a different person to taste it. We have high wine, like today, for example, we had a rep come in. She had like 6 wines from the fine wine room, all of which would be in the fine wine room. I had our staff taste them and say, hey, what do you guys think? Do you think this could fit? Do you think that could fit? Someone says, no, I don't like that. And I said, oh, okay, why? And then we go from there. We have dialogue there. But when it's just Jim and I, which typically it is, a rep comes in, they book it or set up an appointment. We taste these wines. And Jim and I would say, all right, this is really good, but it doesn't fit this exact, hole that we have.
And what's the price range within that room? Like lowest to highest? Across an overall umbrella. Lowest is 30.
Yep. No reason for it to be 30, but I want it to be approachable. I don't want people to be scared to go in there. I want people to go in there and say, oh, well, maybe I can't afford it. And then they see, oh, wait, this is $50? All right, maybe I can buy that. And then the highest we have is something that's a couple hundred, like maybe $500.
Per bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
No need for it.
And how many bottles can someone buy at once?
Anything.
So if you have
Different from whiskeys.
if you have $100 bottle of wine
Yep.
in the back room, how many total bottles do you have of that specific bottle at one time?
100% depends on the brand.
Okay.
There's some things that I would buy 3 bottles of, depending on the price, depending on it. There's a couple things in that room that I say that I brought in because they're genuinely super good that I have to buy it. But instead of buying a case which is 6 or 12 bottles, I'm buying 2 bottles, right?
Okay.
And I'd rather do that, even though you pay a little bit more for it. it's worth it because the product's that good. People, and then when you're looking at price point, people are willing to be spending that money.
And there's that one wine that
Gianni's Red.
no, it makes up the table legs in the back tasting room that we use for
Corte
recording.
Fiore.
Yeah, and it's got the ribbon on it with the wax seal. Bro, that's like what, $10?
$16.
It's
16
very
bucks.
jammy, right? That one was
It's
very jammy.
so good.
I think
And-
you guys tried it with Jim, right?
yeah, and you're the only store that offers it.
Yep.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That one, actually, I got to shout out to my dad. He's the one that found that.
Oh, it's so good.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So transitioning back to liquor, because one of the biggest things about liquor stores is
Transitioning. What a guy.
you got any Blantons in the back?
Fuck off.
So what exactly? So what are your thoughts on allocated whiskeys, and what is your process as a liquor store owner of getting allocated whiskeys and notifying people of its
Oh, this is the
availability?
best question I've ever had.
Well, this is going to
Oh
be a
my
clip,
God, I'm
so that's why
pumped.
that's why I'm throwing this out there.
Let's
go.
Why is it a clip?
Because this is when you talk about liquor stores
We're
in
gonna
the
get in
whiskey
trouble.
industry. No, when you talk about liquor stores in the whiskey industry, it's always about allocation because everybody thinks that they're best friends with the owner. And do you have any Blantons in the back? Because I'm important. So that's why I want this to be a clip because it doesn't
Right.
work like that.
You got Eagle Rare, friend?
Yeah, it's that picture I showed you guys, right?
Right? Yeah.
So, all right.
So realistically, what is it like?
All right. So first things first, there is a thing called being friends with the owner, right? So my dad, and again, being a family business, we have genuine friends that are from our neighborhood that my dad's been friends with forever, and he knows that if I sell this to Bob for the regular MSRP of a product, right? Then he's going to enjoy it, or he's going to give it to one of his clients for his job, right? And you're making him happy, and you're helping a friend who actually shops at Addy's and or Lexi's exclusively, right? And then you have people that we call them hoppers. No, unrelated.
Yeah, unrelated to Clonakilty Hopper.
That's a good hopper.
Yeah.
But
They're frog
store
jumpers.
hoppers, yeah. So what they do is they go to each store. They say, "Hey, what do you have in the back?" And then they try to intimidate the girls or the guys that are just regular store clerks that are closing the store. They're not the people like myself or my dad or Tim or one of our assistant managers. They're just the younger people that they're trying to intimidate and say, "Hey, you got Buffalo Trace, right? You got Eagle Rare, right?" Or they try to kind of manipulate it. I have no issue with them coming in and asking, "Hey, do you have anything like this?" That's a fair question, right? You can go in and ask any liquor store any question about that, or that question about any product. It comes to how much of douchebags they are, right? So you have the ones that come in and they say, "Hey, what do you have in the back?" and expect us to, get them, the Pappy or the Blantons or whatever. And then we're like, "I got nothing." And then they're like, "Oh, well, I see, we have it, we have like a box, right? That is, because, when you walk in or when you check out, we give you boxes like every other liquor store does. And we have a box of Buffalo Trace, right? And they say, "Oh, I see a Buffalo Trace box there. Where's your Buffalo Trace?" "Well, we sold out of it." "No, you didn't. Where is it?" We're like, "Come on, man. Like, what are you trying to do here?" They're also the ones that are trying to say, "Hey, this price is too much. What can you do for us? Or what can you do for me? You able to hook me up with a deal? I'm one of your good customers." And I'm just like, "I've never seen you here before, man."
Right.
And then you have, and let's assume those guys are just genuinely trying to drink them or keep them for, their son's graduation, whatever the case may be. Then you have the worst ones, and they're the ones that are trying to flip. Those are the flippers. The flippers are the ones that are going in and they say, "All right, I'm going to buy this, grab it all off the shelf." And then you see it online for about $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever, and then ruining the entire bourbon market, right? Or whiskey market, I should say, but typically it's a bourbon market. So because of those flippers, us and every other retailer put our prices up for these bourbons, right? And we say, okay, so instead of you guys flipping it, we're going to make the money that you guys are going to be making anyways. You didn't go through the process of having a liquor license, bringing in all these bourbon SKUs, bringing in all these different products just to get these allocations for the Pappy, for the Blantons, for the Eagle Rare, for the E.H. Taylors, etc., right?
Because you don't just get allocations of Pappy.
It's honest to God, it is a goddamn nightmare. And this is the toughest thing of my job is, well, great, this kid gets to drink wine and spirits all day while ordering booze. No, it's like I sit down with my rep every Monday, and we spend about 30, 40 minutes, no joke, no exaggeration, getting all these different items that this distributor sells, and picking out an X amount while still being within a budget and getting all these different SKUs and making sure that they still fit in our budget and our price point to where it's able to be sold on a bourbon shelf or our bourbon blowout shelf, depending on the situation.
Right.
Just to hopefully get a higher allocation of Pappies, of Blantons, of whatever it is, right?
I don't think people understand really how allocation works. It's not like there's...
I'm a retailer. I've been doing this my whole life. I don't even know.
Yeah, well, it's not like Tyler has boxes and boxes of Pappy in the back. It's in order to get an allocated product, you have to basically prove your worth to that distributor so they know that they can trust you with the or they want to basically bless you with the allocation of Pappy. Like, it's not
correct.
Just you order it and you get it in.
It's a little bit more legal than that, but yes,
Sure,
that's honest to God, that's really what it is at the
End of the day.
So
Yeah.
to your
Yeah, at the
local
end of
liquor
the day,
store,
yeah.
don't go in there and demand that they show you what they have in the back because chances are it's not there. So
Yeah.
that's kind of a joke in the bourbon industry is like we always make fun of that person because they walk in and they're like, what do you have in the back? I know you got Pappy. But it does happen very frequently. And don't be that person.
We all know
because
who
nobody
you are.
likes you.
And it was interesting too. Like, here's a perfect example. We swung in for work, right? But every time we show up early for everything because we're nuts. But it's to our benefit because it gives us like 7 minutes.
Yep.
Check out the shelf, see what's in, and Prohibition Style from Old Forester came in.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in a long time. And I'm like, I haven't seen this not only here, but like anywhere because there's a liquor store around the corner from my house.
That you don't go to because you.
I still drive
exclusively
20
go to
minutes to
Addy's.
go to Addy's to buy booze.
Alexi's.
Yeah, but I'm just like, it's like, it makes sense for me because it's all about loyalty, right? It's just loyalty. And I seen Prohibition Style and I was like, I can't say no to that. Like, I have to buy that because I also know what it is. And I know there's 15 dudes after me that are going to buy it because of what it is. And I'm like, that's it. Like, you just grab it. You just grab it off the shelf. And I was so happy you had it. But when I asked you, I'm like, dude, you got this in? And your response was like, for now.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like I'm actively grabbing it while talking to you because I understand it's not going to be around.
They're gone like that.
And how much do you have now?
None.
Exactly. Like
I literally don't even have a bottle in the back.
yeah, it's on the shelf in my basement unopened because I understand like what it is. Like, it's just one of those things. And the same thing happens with Eagle Rare. Buffalo Trace started playing games for a little bit. Lagavulin obviously is going to have the Nick Offerman releases. Blanton's.
So just don't be that guy.
Yeah, literally don't.
And every liquor store, honestly, we all know who you guys are, and
They all talk.
We all like. There's like some people that I text all the time, and like we're all friends. We all know who it is, and we all just, hey, Derek just came into the store, and guess what he was asking for, and then my friend whoever, who I'm not going to say, she says, hey. Was he looking for this? Because he just came into here, and like we were just laughing.
Just don't be an obnoxious bourbon hunter because nobody wants that. Just don't do it.
There's other ways to get the product.
Right. It's called be a good person.
Right.
Correct.
And don't
Don't
litter.
litter.
We're out.
We're out.
Well, that being said, Tyler, We're at an hour and 45 minutes. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? Because this is our longest one yet.
I think this is the longest interview we've ever had.
Anything else you want to add besides mellow corn?
All right, two things.
Yep.
One, the Jack Eric Church.
Yeah.
Is that still got stuff in it?
No.
Fuck you.
I know.
We finished that a while ago.
That
We
was a
have
gift.
some.
That was a
We have
gift
some
from my brother-in-law.
Ellicottville Distilling rye though.
All right, let's do some mellow corn and then we can be out, eh?
Okay, sounds good.
Jesus.
Why do you want mellow corn?
Mellow corn's not bad.
For the memes.
It's really not bad. Screw top. C
Oh,
minus.
wait. Yeah, no, we're good.
I don't think we can do your wine right now.
No, I just realized that, yeah. You guys can do that on another Wine Wednesday review.
Yeah. Well,
Small.
we'll
Thank you.
pack up right now.
Yeah.
But Tyler, as always, thank you so much for your partnership.
Bueno.
Thank you for your friendship.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything that you've done for us. If you haven't checked out Addy's, go check out Addy's. Download their app at Addy's Wine, Fine Wine and Spirits app on the Google Playground Play Store and the Apple App Store. You can check it out, download it, check out all their prices. They don't have any more Lagavulin left. Don't go in there asking for anything from the back because I can guarantee you Tyler doesn't have it. He already gave it to us because he loves us. But go pick up a bottle, honestly, of Clonakilty Big Ditch collaboration because it is very good. If you like that chocolatey note with that very friendly Clonakilty typical taste, you have to try this out. We went to the party recently. You guys unfortunately aren't seeing this. You're seeing this after the party. But go check that out because this is fantastic. And you really need to grab yourself a bottle of this. But Tyler, honestly, thank you so much for everything that you do for us.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate your friendship.
Thank you.
And we can't wait for round 3.
Hey, absolutely, round 3 with my dad for sure.
Love that.
Right? Absolutely.
Please.
Yep.
Please.
Cheers, man.
Hey,
Thank
go
you.
Sabres, all right?
Go Sabres.